All right, this is day 3, Faith Alone, the story of the Canaanite woman, or as written in the curriculum, the mother of a sick girl meets Jesus.
Yep. And again, just make sure you have, operators, make sure you have day 3 checked. It should be for you. And down we go.
Whee!
All right. So, as before, I'm not going to click on it this time, but I would start with the instructions, go through the same rhythm. By now, they should be very familiar with it. Should go very quickly as far, like I said, we'll click on it. As far as where do you find the truth in God's Word, it should be good. So then, you can then briefly mention day 1, glory alone, briefly mention day 2, Christ alone, and now we have day 3 open. So day 3 is a bit of a small journey to get to, and you'll probably end up doing this twice. But you just go up the stairs, and there's only one way to go except for here. This just leads you back out, so don't worry about that. But we get into a lush area for day 3. Alright, so then we have 2 places. We have the boss over there. We have the truth room over there.
Note the nice little signs right there if you get turned around.
Yep. And then we want to come over and look at the boss. And if you, the older kids may pick up on this, but this one has no bubbles. There's no buff on this boss. And we even gave you a fixer. So the lie today is I can fix my own problems. So you can get your fixer, which is a buffed sword, and you can even try to fix your own problems by jumping down here and yay! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
It's like the Hydra. The more you kill, the more they appear. Oh no!
So the more you kill, the better, because that does bring a lot of them back to life, and that will actually make the next screen even more interesting. So back to where we started, up the stairs for day 3. And during this time, you can talk about, as the operator is walking back, you can talk about how sometimes lies multiply and they get rooted, and we really, really, really believe them, and they start off, though it seems like a pretty small lie, but oof, now they're pretty big.
So much for trying to fix it yourself.
Yep. So then that goes to where we've always been. We need the truth. So we have another truth room over here. And just as we had before, the quick way, in case you're running late or you don't want to go through the puzzles either way, the truth key is back here, just around the corner. Otherwise, we'll start here with the book. And faith level, I can fix myself. We have some verses and whatever you want to do again as far as introduction to the story.
And again, if you're choosing the shorter version and you're going to go get the truth key right now, make sure you're teaching really all of the teaching portion right here.
Yep. Otherwise, click on or step on the plate like we do the other times. All right, so you'll land here, and the idea is like we're in a business district, and the key here for the operator is don't move, don't wander, don't walk out there. You can get lost. There is a pretty big world out there that we're not using for VBS. The main thing you want to do is you're right next to a door. You just want to go in.
And that's a good rule of thumb again, operator, just in general. Whenever you're in a new spot, you're looking around, stationary and slowly gliding across the screen, not flicking back and forth.
Yep. All right, so we'll go in, and we have the Canaanite woman. Hello. Okay, sorry. So we have our question like we do each day. Again, this is just get them in the rhythm of where do we find the truth in God's Word. So who was sick? In this case, daughter is the correct answer, so they can pick the wrong one. And you just fall down.
It might be kind of fun to pick another wrong answer for that one because they may not have caught the funny little joke above you where you're floating and it's high, high, higher.
You're welcome to groan at this one if you so choose. All right, but God's Word is hidden back here in the corner. So again, if you're here with the book, you're looking here, the exit door is there, but in this little corner over here is where God's Word is. So it has these two verses, 21 and 22, and which basically the answer in there was the daughter, and that just opens the door. So then now the Canaanite woman again will creepily follow us. You can mention that however you want to do that. We have, on purpose, these two puzzles are meant to be very quick. Feel free when you hit the verses to talk about them, but I would be pretty brief because the third puzzle will take some time. All right, so there's the question for that one. And you can choose a wrong answer again. This one, it's just, you end up really slow, so you can try to move around. Your vision is really strange. You can just comment however you want to do that. God's Word on this one is up the stairs, so if you want to look around a little bit, I'd be really brief, but then go up the stairs and you'll see God's Word in here. So we have two more verses here, 23 and 24. Oh, three more actually, my apologies. So again, the indication there is there's a third page and the arrow. The main part to emphasize here is she really needed God's help. I wouldn't spend a lot of time on the nuance of Jesus going to the lost sheep of Israel, especially to the younger kids. This is the main piece right here.
And part of that too, she really needed Jesus' help, but also she clearly had the faith before it's even mentioned because she's coming to him believing he can do something to help her. She knows he has the power.
Excellent. All right, then back down. We know the right answer now, which was Jesus. And that opens the other door. And she happens to appear over here. I think even if you click on her, I needed Jesus clarification there too as well. All right, so this part is going to take a little bit of explaining, but I think the kids will get it fairly well. The best thing to do is to look at each piece one at a time. I would recommend starting on the right. Most of the kids will really laugh at the upside down sheep over there, and then the multicolored one. Make sure you get your cursor on Moses here. It's like shaking his head upside down. So the gist of it is you need to get Moses to the other side. So you can see the Canaanite woman. You can look in here, see that there's some wheat. A Minecraft idea is whenever you're holding wheat, the sheep will follow you because they'll want to try to eat the wheat. And that's how you can lead them across. And then we have two types of blocks over here. We have My Good Deed blocks, and there's 32 of them. And we have Faith in Jesus blocks, and there's 5. And the idea is 5 blocks is not enough blocks to build a cross. But our instructions, we'll show you now, are basically step 1, have faith. Step 2, build a cross. Step 3, lead Moses across. And again, Moses being the sheep over there. Anything you want to say at this point?
Nope.
Okay.
Just reinforcing, I do think it's a good idea to take the time to observe all of the things in the room and then come back to the instruction book, because that's just scaffolding the concepts that you're trying to lead the kids through for this puzzle. Expose them to the things in the room, then come to the instructions. Now they can start getting their brains working as far as how they think they would interact with the puzzle. If you go to the instruction book first, you don't have enough information right now to really think through it. So observe first, then instructions.
Right. So again, bantering with the kids that are there, it says have faith, and clearly faith in Jesus. These are the ones you want to use. You can even chat with the kids, like which blocks should we use to build a cross, and then even throw the question out there. But it doesn't look like there's enough blocks to build a cross here. So the character, though, should probably choose the good deeds just to build a cross incorrectly. I would also take some time to notice that it's really deep and dark down there. For the kids who have played Minecraft, it's a little disconcerting because it's a big drop. All right, so next for the operator, it's very, very, very important. I didn't put a ton of safeguards in this, so you have to do this just right. You'll notice that there is a yellow block on the other side, and there's a yellow block here. That is where you need to build across. You don't want to build on the sides because things will not work correctly if you do. You have to build straight across. So depending on your device, there's two ways that might work. One way is reaching way over here and putting it there. The other way is to just build across this way. It really depends on your device. So you start building across, and you can actually get all the way across. That is something that can happen. But I would recommend not actually going across, but then looking behind you, and you'll notice that your good deed blocks are turning into sand, and you can comment accordingly. So it is random when they will actually disappear and turn into sand. There you go. But the idea here is you do want to fall. You can even try to, like, oh no, I'm going to try to build back, and then you fall. So it respawns you back to here. You will still have the items in your inventory. So you can, if you want, you can try again really fast. But even if you were to be successful and build all the way across, there's no way to lead the sheep across. So it's an impossible task. All right.
I guess it's time to try those few faith blocks. How are we going to get across with only 5 blocks? Make that a big question and mystery with the kids.
Yeah. And then even just teaching, what is faith in general. All those would be good. So these are simple. Again, they have to be placed directly on this yellow part. You'll notice that block accidentally got placed too high, and it will never disappear. So try your best not to do that. But if it does, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, one more time emphasizing exactly where you need to build that line.
Yeah. So then once these blocks get placed, then they basically grow. And again, like if you place your block here, it's not the correct one. It has to be in the center. So operators, you'll probably want to practice this a couple times just to make sure you get it correct. And place it there instead. That works. And then come across. So then there is, I would probably go to the God's Word here. And this basically just talks about how the Canaanite woman, the conversation that she had with Jesus, and then the healing provided by Jesus because of her faith and the marvel. And there's teaching you can do here. And then come back across. These will stay here. And then get some wheat. Open both gates, and you can lead them across. If they get stuck a little, you can move around a little. We put 2 gates there to hopefully make sure they don't get stuck. Sorry, it's just still funny to me watching them go upside down. Kids should love it. As far as make sure you turn around plenty of time, operators, so that they can see the sheep. So you just bring them in, and then you unselect your wheat, and then you can, if they start walking around, it doesn't matter. But the door will open as soon as Moses gets into this area here. And then whatever else you want to emphasize, this is basically the end of the teaching portion. So whatever else you want to emphasize with faith, feel free to do that here. So inside here we have our truth key, which will be some seeds. The exit takes you back to the truth room, and we'll do the same thing we did before. So again, we'll come back here. We'll see the many lies as they come towards us, and then put the key in. And you'd be good, operator, if you're there to watch them all perish.
Before you put the key in as well, that could be an opportune moment to talk about the hopelessness that we sometimes feel when we have kind of lied our way into a corner or sinned our way into a corner where we believe all these lies, and we feel like there's nothing that can be done about it. We even doubt what Jesus did for us on the cross at that point. Realize we're buying into a lie. What Jesus did for us is enough, even for all these zombies, all these lies.
Yeah, and it's the real simple illustration too of how many of you ever lied and then told a lie to cover up that lie, and then told a lie to cover up that lie, and as far as multiplication of lies go, I'm sure many of the kids have done that. So then that's it, and just back through, and we have another prayer book where you can instruct the counselors to join their group in prayer.
Yep, you could lead this depending on time. If you have some time to have your small group leaders lead this prayer with the kids, there's some opportunity for the way you think things should go in the moment here.
And that is it for this video.